Okay. All right, y'all go in front of the judge. When you get up front of the judge, when it's your turn, make sure you take your mask off and the judge understand.
All right. We're ready to begin, Your Honor.
All right, good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance before the Clayton County Magistrate Court. My name is Judge Ferry, and I will be presiding over your hearing today. I will be making announcements that applies to all of you and some of you, so please make sure that you listen up very carefully.
Can you hear it? There we go.
First and foremost, again, this is your first appearance.
What's up, guys? Sorry, I didn't know my mic was mute, was not on. This is so there's not very many live court proceedings right now going on. So this is actually from July 4th, but it was people who were in jail. It's from the Georgia. Normally we don't have the Georgia people in here. The Georgia. So we're gonna do this Georgia stream. It's 4th of July, so people that got in trouble over the weekend. So let's see what these people get in trouble for. Let's see how stupid they are. What's up, Sage? What's up, Sage?
What that means is you are here so that way I can inform you of the charges that have been brought against you. I can inform you about your status of a bond, how much it is, and whether you'll receive one. And also I'll determine whether or not you qualify to have the court appoint an attorney to represent you, or whether you will have to hire a private attorney on your own to handle your case.
Sage?
We are not here to take a plea today. This is not a time for you to try your case, argue the evidence, argue any allegations, or provide any defenses. Today is not the day. You will have that opportunity to do so. However, today is just the day that we will discuss the offenses that you were charged with, your status on bond, and whether you need a court-appointed attorney. So please do not get into the facts of your case. We are streaming live on YouTube. Since we are appearing in a remote video conference, we are given the public access to these proceedings. So keep that in mind that we are streaming live on YouTube. Anything
for all your stupidity
can be held against you. So there will be several rights that apply to you here today, as well as throughout the duration of your case. One of those rights is you do have the right to remain silent and not say anything. But should you give up this right during this proceeding, anything you say may be used against you if this case goes to trial. You also have the right of presumption of innocence until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to an indictment by a grand jury for most felony offenses. And you also have the right to an accusation if you've been charged with a misdemeanor. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
Maybe girl doesn't like the channels I pick anymore. I don't know.
Witnesses who are called
oh wait, he just texted me.
Against you. You have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses in your own behalf by a subpoena. You have the right to testify and offer any evidence.
He says he's going to be in chat
if you choose to do so at trial. However, should you choose not to do so, there will be no presumption of guilt raised against you. And you also have the right to have an attorney represent you, or certainly you can represent yourself.
He says he's coming in the chat.
Now, with the issue of bond, some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds in order for you to be released from jail here today. You can do that in one of three ways.
My puppy likes to chew on my tape. I hate
what
that.
It's called a cash bond. If you have the full amount of your bond in cash available, then you can post a cash bond. You'll pay that amount to the sheriff's office.
You're in jury duty right now, Hunted?
Will hold that amount until the final disposition of your case. At the end of your case, the bond will be returned to the person who posted it. So if I tell you your bond is $1,000, then you'll pay $1,000 to the sheriff's office. They may charge you some additional admin fees. So you'll pay that amount and then it'll be returned at the end of your case.
That means they will charge you an admin fee.
If you decide to not pay your bond in full cash, you can go through what is called a commercial bonding company. That is the second option. If you go through the commercial bonding company, the bonding company will charge you a percentage.
So you get to see live action too then, Hunter.
I don't know what their fees are or what their percentages are. I do know that they'll charge up to 15%, but bonding companies have different fees. So you'll just have to call around and find out how much they'll charge you to post the bond for you. The fee that they charge you is their fee. You do not get that money back. So if I tell you that your bond is $1,000 and you call a commercial bonding company,
I'm
and
sure
they tell
all these
you
people
that
know
they'll charge you
how much a bond
10%,
fees are.
then that means you have to pay the bonding company 10% of that $1,000. So you'll have to pay them $100, and then the bonding company will post the bond for you. Okay, that's how that works. As it relates to your third option, it would be posting a bond using what we call a property bond. So if you don't have a cash bond, you can't go through a commercial bonding company, but you know someone who has property or equity in that property that's worth something, you can certainly post your bond using that property bond. They have to have at least 3 times whatever your bond amount is as net equity in their property.
I am never putting up my car for bond,
let's say
or my house,
and the house has at least $3,000 in it. If you have a $1,000 bond and they have at least $3,000 net equity in that house, then you can use the house to post the property bond for you. Those are the 3 different ways. Now, some of you will have special conditions to your bond. That special condition may prohibit you from contacting a certain person or going around to certain places. For example, if I say that you are to have no contact with someone, that means no contact. You have to stay away, absolutely, directly, indirectly, whether it's by email, mail,
is
pager,
that what that means?
telephone, social media.
I didn't know
from
that.
That person or any third persons related to that person.
Well, no shit.
Their home, their work, or any place where they may frequent, and any immediate family members. It does not matter if that person is your spouse. It doesn't matter if the person is a co-parent.
They haven't started yet, Clark.
Your grandma or your mom.
She's just giving the directions right now.
Or your roommate. If I say stay away and have no contact, that means stay
Should
away
I give
and have
Donnie
no
a treat?
contact.
Let's see.
We take these bond conditions.
Let's see what
very
Nightbot
seriously.
says.
If you violate them, then you may be charged with additional offenses, such as aggravated stalking, influencing a witness, or any other charges that the law may provide. And you may be sentenced up to 10 years in prison and fined up to $20,000.
I guess I gotta give him a treat. Nightbot told me to.
Whatever charges brought you here before the court today.
You want a treat?
So please do not violate these conditions. The same thing applies if I say do not go back to a certain place, whether it's the Quick Trip, or the Food Depot, or the home that you share with your grandma or your mom. If I say do not return to that place, do not go back to that place. If you reside in the home with that individual or with the victim, just let me know. Sometimes it's not clear on the warrant. And what I will do is I'll indicate on the bond that you can return back to collect any personal belongings, so long as you are accompanied by law enforcement. You can do that by making an appointment within 10 days of your release from jail. Now, for those of you who are allowed to post bond, if the victim is the person listed on your bond who I said you can't have any contact with, that victim will not be able to post the bond for you. You will have to find someone else.
Why would a victim want to post
the
a bond? That's just idiotic.
Now, some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not allowed to post bond, for which this court is not authorized to allow you to post bond here today. In that event, I will give you a separate bond hearing date. And that bond hearing date will be July 22nd. That's in about 3 weeks. I will repeat that date again if you don't get a bond here today.
Wow.
But again, that bond hearing date will be July 22nd. Keep in mind, this is your first appearance. This is not a trial. So you will have an opportunity, if you're not given a bond, on July 22nd, you're going to have an opportunity to have your counsel present. The state will be present. Any witnesses will be present. And you can have any witnesses on your behalf to be present. So that way you can address the issue of bond at that time. If you are currently on active probation, there may be a probation hold. This court may not be authorized to set bond for you. In that event, we will give your probation officer an opportunity to decide whether he or she will file a warrant to actually revoke your probation. And this is typically done during what is called your
Hey, Sage, this is
preliminary
Clayton
hearing.
County too. You might know some
Each of
people.
you are gonna get a court date. That court date is called your preliminary hearing date. The preliminary hearing is a probable cause hearing. The purpose of that hearing is to determine whether there's enough evidence or enough probable cause to keep you detained in jail on those charges until your case goes to trial. If you bond out before that preliminary hearing date, that date automatically goes away because you're bonded out. So there's no reason to have a hearing.
We got a new judge
whether
today.
or not you will remain detained on
This
those
is from
charges.
July 4th, guys. Just so
Now,
you know, everybody. This is from
July.
July.
Have been charged with misdemeanor offenses.
Oh, wait a minute, Sage West. I'm thinking of the other one. Sorry.
You do have the opportunity to waive that preliminary hearing date. If I give you the hearing date and you're discharged with a misdemeanor, if you don't want that hearing date because you're confident that you're going to be able to bond out, then just let me know that you want to waive your preliminary hearing date. And so you'll sign a waiver form, and then that just speeds your case along a little faster. And the next court date you get will be your arraignment date, where you are read your charges and you enter a plea at that time. Those are for misdemeanors. For felonies, you will have to keep your preliminary hearing date. You won't be able to waive that hearing date. When each of you come up before me, I will inform each of you of your specific court date.
Oh no, that's Sneaky Pete.
Although we are appearing by remote means and we're appearing by video conference, this is still a formal court proceeding. This is a lawful proceeding. So please conduct yourselves accordingly. Make sure you provide
top secret yard chat. I need one of those.
Respect to the court that you would provide as if you were physically appearing in the courtroom. Also, because sometimes it is hard for me to hear you through your mask, or it's hard for me to hear you because this is a remote proceeding, please allow me to give you all of the information that you need before you ask any questions, because you may ask questions regarding information that I need to provide you. So let me tell you what your charges are. I will tell you what your bond is. I will explain to you whether or not you qualify for a court-appointed attorney, and then I'll turn it over to you and ask you if you have any questions for me, okay? So if each of you can go ahead and raise your right hand, let me swear you in. Do you swear and affirm that any statements you give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? If so, say I do and lower your hands.
I do not.
All right, thank you. All right, so I'll have each one of you come up one by one. So as you come up, if you can state your first and last name loud and clear so I can hear you. It looks like the first person I have is Miss Baker.
What's up, Miss Baker? How you doing today? Well, I guess you're not doing so well if you're in jail.
Okay, good morning. What's your full name, ma'am?
Baker.
Okay. Baker. Thank you, Ms. Baker. So, Ms. Baker, you've been charged with all misdemeanor offenses, improper backing. That bond amount is $500. Striking a fixed object, hit and run. That bond amount is $1,500. DUI, alcohol, less safe. That bond amount is $5,000. So your total bond amount between all three offenses is $7,000. Do you understand your charges and your bond amount, ma'am?
So I'm guessing no backing is no insurance.
Your next court date is being scheduled for July 19th, 2022. That is a preliminary hearing date. You do have the option of waiving that court date. Do you want to waive that court date, or do you want to keep it on the calendar?
Oh, lovely.
We can keep it on the calendar.
Got him blocked.
And I did review your application for a court-appointed attorney. You do qualify.
I just blocked
so I
him.
have appointed an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, Ms. Baker, with regards to the information I just provided you?
Because I got the 7,000 bonds, so I'll be able to make bond today though, if I get the bond. Okay.
Yes, you can bond out as soon as I sign the order and send it over. You can begin working on bonding yourself out. All right. Okay. Have a good day. Best of luck to you.
Dun, 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 dun.
Kayla Gaines.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Are you Kayla Gaines? Okay.
Man, you know, once
All
you
right.
put
So,
those
Ms.
tattoos on your
Gaines,
face,
you've
you
been
screw
charged with
yourself.
several offenses, which include both felony offenses and misdemeanor offenses. So the first one is DUI. That bond is $5,000. Open container, that's a misdemeanor. That bond is $500. You have a second-degree criminal
Right, Gron?
damage to property. That bond amount is $3,000. You have a felony aggravated assault.
Oh shit.
That bond is set at $20,000. You have a violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. That bond is set at $5,000. And you also have another violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. That's possession with intent to distribute. That bond is set at $10,000. So your total bond amount between all of the offenses, is $43,500.
Holy shit. She's in jail for a
Do you
while.
understand what you have been charged with and what I've stated as far as your bond amount? Okay, now as a special condition to your release, there is a stay away provision. You're to stay away and have no contact with Scott Johnson or Dana Tinsley. Also, you can't go back to 7795 Clearview Circle in Riverdale, Georgia. Do you understand those conditions, ma'am?
Wonder what Riverdale, Georgia. The
Okay,
face tats aren't doing
and
anything for you, yeah.
Your preliminary hearing date,
That's
which
a
is your
turnoff.
next court date, is scheduled for July 20th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. It will take place by Zoom video conference, and I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions regarding the information I just provided you with, Ms. Gaines?
Yeah. Regarding a lawyer, if I already have my own lawyer, is that fine?
Yes, absolutely. If you have your own lawyer, your lawyer will know what to file to let the court know that you're being represented. Okay?
So when
You're
it
waiting
comes
on
to
the
my phone was stolen by them, and my mom actually tracked my phone. It's at his house. I was trying to see how could I get my phone. It's a $1,200 phone. They stole my phone.
Well, you can't have any contact with them. So I think that may be something you can arrange through your attorney. So if your attorney, the attorney you mentioned that you've hired, talk to your lawyer. Oftentimes what they can do is make those arrangements for you. But you can't have any contact with them now. So don't try to call any third parties to retrieve your phone, because I don't want you to
What's up, Richard?
inadvertently violate this stay away provision. But work through your lawyer and see if your lawyer can retrieve your phone for you.
So one last question. Am I bond out today? If I can bond out today?
I can't hear you.
Today? I was trying to see, could I bond out today?
Yes, when I sign this order, I'm going to send it over to the jail today. So if you're able to go ahead and bond out today, you should be able to. Yes, ma'am.
You want to put in some money for her
Best
birth
of luck
book?
to you, Ms. Gaines. Vicky,
Here's your blonde one.
Ms. Garment, good morning. You have been
Drugs.
charged
She's
with both
older.
misdemeanors and a felony offense.
Gotta be drugs.
You have a felony violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Meth, that is $5,000 bond.
Meth?
You have a possession of marijuana less than an ounce. That's a misdemeanor. That bond is $1,500.
Damn,
You
for
have a
weed?
misdemeanor use or possession of a drug-related object. That bond is $500. And then a theft by shoplifting. That bond is set at $2,000.
Gotta get the
So your
money for
total
that
bond
meth.
amount between all these offenses is $9,000. As a special condition to your bond, you're to stay away from the Food Depot at 1155 Terra Boulevard in Jonesboro, Georgia, while this bond condition is in place. So do you understand what I've mentioned as far as your charges, your bond amount, and that special condition? Okay, I've set your preliminary hearing date, your next court date, for July 20th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. It will be by Zoom video conference. And I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this proceeding. Do you have any questions regarding the information I just provided you? All right, you may be excused. Have a
Bunny
good day.
Bucker toys. Yeah, she might be 20. You never know. Method makes you look a lot older,
Okay, I
doesn't it?
think that's all for the ladies. Is that correct, Deputy?
Look at that. Look at that. They let the girls go
Yes,
first.
Judge.
That's not fair.
Okay.
Let the guys go first.
All right, good morning. May I have your name? Okay. Um, Good morning, sir. You've been charged with 2 misdemeanor offenses. There's a simple battery, family violence. That bond is set at $3,000. And there's a misdemeanor false imprisonment. That bond is set at $3,000. So your total bond amount is $6,000. And as a special condition to your bond and your release, you're to stay away and have no contact with Ms. Sherry Lowe. Do you understand what I've mentioned as far as your charges, the bond amount, and your special condition?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, and your next court date is being scheduled for July 19th, 2022. That's your preliminary hearing date. Now, if you bond out before that date automatically gets waived, it goes away, you get a new court date in the mail. Or you can go ahead and sign a waiver and waive that court date today. Did you want to waive that court date? Okay, we'll leave it calendared. It will take place, like I mentioned, July 19th, 8:30 a.m. by Zoom video conference, and I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions about the information I just
No, she
provided
don't play
you with?
around. That's good.
Yes, ma'am. My the phone calls that I made before I was sent here was to my wife, and she was going to be working on bailing me out. That was already established. That's who I called.
What's your question?
She was the one that was supposed to be working on my bail that I've already set in motion. And so can she still do that? Because I don't have anyone else.
Yeah, Sherry Lowe is the named victim that you are to have no contact with. So you're gonna have to find somebody else to assist you with bonding out. I've just mentioned that you can't have any contact with your wife. So I don't want you to inadvertently violate this, because if you do, then you're gonna have an additional felony charge of aggravated stalking and you won't get a bond.
So he kidnapped his own wife.
Contact with her and you get rearrested. So I highly recommend that you make some phone calls and figure out other alternatives to assist you with bonding out. But no, you cannot have any contact with her.
So if I am bonded out, as far as my things, we live in the same home. What am I supposed to?
Find an apartment.
Is that the 1130 Quail Hunt Drive in Riverdale?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. So I will indicate on here, because it wasn't clear whether you all were residing together. So I will indicate on here that you can return back to collect some of your undisputed items and belongings, but you have to make an appointment with the Clayton County Sheriff's Office within 10 days of being released. So that's 1130 Quail Hunt Drive, Riverdale, Georgia. What is the zip code?
30296.
30296. Okay, so I did indicate on here that you can go back to collect some of your personal belongings, but you can't return back to that residence while this bond condition is in place.
I also have another question, Judge.
What's your question?
We work at the same job as well.
Oh, shit.
What's your question?
If I'm not to be in contact with her, we work at the same job. What am I supposed to do?
That's something, y'all, you can't have any contact. So I don't know if you all work at the same department or, around each other, but you may have to work on a flex schedule, whatever you have to do to get creative, maybe different days that you work, different shifts. You just can't have any contact with her. So if y'all work in 2 separate offices down the hall, and you don't have any contact with her, then you won't be in violation of this bond order. So you just have to figure out for a basis while this condition is in place, how you're gonna go about your life while still remaining in compliance
Willow.
with this condition.
That sucks.
Okay.
Well, that's
All
what you
right,
get for
so
beating
that's
up your
something you
wife,
need to
though,
probably
right?
talk to your supervisor about, or whoever you need to talk to about as it relates to scheduling. Do you have any other questions? You do have a court-appointed attorney, so if you need to get these bond conditions modified, talk to your court-appointed attorney, and your attorney will know how to assist you with that. All right, so if there's nothing else, sir, you may be excused. Have a good one.
Go back. Hey, next person go.
Excuse me, Judge. I already know what I've been charged with.
What's your name?
Freddie Benoit.
Of
Okay.
course you do. You did
All
it.
right. So, Mr. Benoit, you don't have a bond today, given your offenses. Your bond hearing date is being scheduled for July 22nd.
He doesn't want nobody on
2022.
here to know what he's in
That will
trouble
be by
for.
Zoom video conference at 8:30 a.m. So you'll be brought back up in the same format. And I did appoint an attorney to represent you. So you'll have a lawyer present on that day as well. Also, you have a preliminary hearing date that is being scheduled during that same week. That one is July 20th, 2022.
I want to know what he
your
did.
preliminary hearing is July 20th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. by Zoom video conference, and the bond hearing date is July 22nd.
Whatever
And you
is
can't
bad.
have any contact with the named victim regarding these offenses. Do you have any questions regarding what I just mentioned to you?
Wonder what he did. Something to a
Yes,
victim.
ma'am. Preliminary hearing, didn't she say that that was to determine whether I would remain detained during my, during what was going on?
Yes, the
Yeah.
purpose of the preliminary hearing is to determine whether or not there's enough probable cause to keep you detained on the charges you've been charged with.
Okay, and the bond hearing is, even though my
What's up, Hope?
preliminary hearing, I might still be detained, I would have a bond hearing, and that would be the point to where I can, start the process to get out?
Yes,
If I
to
get it wrong.
determine, yes, so you'll appear before another judge, and then you can have witnesses, you'll have your lawyer, the state will be there, and then there'll be testimony and evidence to determine whether or not you'll be granted a bond, and if so, how much and what those bond conditions will be. All right? Okay, best of luck to you, sir.
Kind of nice looking plates. What do you think?
Whoa,
Whoa, look at this guy's haircut.
Morning, may I have your name?
Dylan Kane.
He looks like
Okay,
Antifa.
so Mr. Kane, you've been charged with 2 traffic offenses, driving with no license and running a red light. Your red light violation is $500 bond. The no license is $1,000. So your total bond amount is $1,500. Do you understand what you've been charged with in the bond amount?
Wow, you go to jail for.
Okay, your next
No
court date is
license
your
and-
preliminary hearing date. It's
What's up,
scheduled for
East
July
Kentucky?
19th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. It will be by Zoom video conference. You do have the option of waiving that court date. Do you want to waive that court date? You do? Okay. All right, so you will be provided a waiver form. Make sure you sign the waiver form and write your name clearly so I understand that it's you that's waiving out. Or waiving the preliminary hearing date. So you won't have that court date. You'll be provided a new court date in the mail.
both
So
work in the
make sure
same-
your address is updated.
Freaking Ronnie.
Also, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. So if you need a lawyer to assist you with these offenses, you will
That's
have
just wrong,
one.
Ronnie.
Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Kane?
So now.
Okay, you may be excused. Best of luck to you.
That's just wrong.
Ryan Chambling,
Hey, 25.
are you Ryan Chambling? Okay, so Mr. Chambling, you've been charged with one felony offense of
Got the
burglary.
man bun.
I am denying your bond today, and I'm scheduling you for a separate bond hearing date. That bond hearing date will be July 22nd, 2022. You're also going, and that's at 8:30 a.m. by Zoom video conference. Your next hearing date will also be the preliminary hearing, which will take place on July 20th, 2022. That's at 8:30 a.m. by Zoom video conference as well. If you are giving a bond, your special condition will be to stay away from 7735 Terra Boulevard L, apartment A31 in Jonesboro, Georgia, and you won't be able to have any contact with Brandon Bay. That is the occupant of that residence. Do you understand what I've mentioned as far as what you've been charged with, your bond conditions, and your court dates? Okay, and I have appointed an attorney to represent you, so you will have a lawyer present on both court dates. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Chambly? All right, you may be excused. Have a good day.
She's quick.
Ronald Collier. Are you Mr. Ronald Kuehler?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay, so Mr. Kuehler, you've been charged with a misdemeanor possession of marijuana less than an ounce. That bond is $1,500.
You get arrested for having weed on you?
Felony crossing the guard line, that bond is $3,000. So your total bond amount is $4,500. Do you understand what you've been charged with and your bond amount, sir? Now, I did see that you did not complete a form to have a court-appointed attorney. Do you plan to hire your own attorney or represent yourself?
I guess, but yeah, I guess.
Did you want to be considered for a court-appointed attorney because you didn't fill out the application requesting services?
Yeah, I think, yeah, yes, ma'am.
Are you employed? I'm sorry?
Oh, I'm not.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and approve you to have a court-appointed attorney represent you in these proceedings. So your court-appointed attorney will be present for your preliminary hearing date, which I am scheduling for July 20th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. It will take place by Zoom video conference. If you bond out prior to that date, that court date goes away and you will receive a new court date in the mail. Do you have any questions for me regarding the information I just provided you with, Mr. Kuehler?
Can you imagine if you can't afford that bond, so you're stuck in jail for all that time? For a $1,500 fine?
Okay.
For weed?
All right, you may be excused. Best of luck to you.
Come on, sir.
Remind me not to go to Georgia.
Good morning. May I have your name?
Cedric Halley.
Okay, so Mr. Halley, you've been charged with one misdemeanor offense of public drunkenness. That bond is automatically set at $1,000. Do you understand what you've been charged with in your bond amount, sir?
They don't play around in Georgia, do they?
Your court date is scheduled for July 19th at 8:30 a.m. by Zoom video conference. That's your preliminary hearing date. Once you bond out, that court date is automatically waived and you'll receive a new court date. Or you can go ahead and waive your court date today because you're charged with a misdemeanor. Did you want to waive that court date or leave it scheduled?
I'll waive it.
Okay. So
you wouldn't hope to be your lawyer?
sign a waiver form there and indicate clearly your name on the waiver form. So that court date goes away. You'll receive a new court date in the mail, which will be your arraignment. I did appoint an attorney to represent you, so you'll have counsel present. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
The flash, it's
right,
Georgia. I think they have a
best of luck to
large, I think in Georgia, maybe in this county, it's a large demographic of black people, maybe. I don't know. Here's a white guy for you. I think he's white. He looks, no,
What's
he's
your
Mexican.
name, sir? I can't hear you. You have to speak up for me.
Jonathan Hartger.
Okay. So, Mr. Hartger,
he's
you've been
white.
charged with several offenses. I'll just tell you what you've been charged with and the status of those. So you've been charged with speeding, improper lane change, failure to yield or stop at a stop sign, reckless driving, violating the seatbelt law, concealing the identity of a tag, improper or erratic lane change, giving a wrong turn signal, violating driving over a divided highway, fleeing from a police officer, driving on the wrong side of the road, a red light violation, driving on a suspended license, and driving with no insurance. And so based on the warrantless arrest affidavit, there are some charges that I have dismissed because there's just no information or facts to warrant keeping those charges. So the ones that I'm dismissing the improper lane change. I'm dismissing the failure to stop at a stop sign. I am dismissing the tag violation or concealing the tag. I am dismissing the improper lane change. I'm dismissing the giving the wrong turn signal. I'm also dismissing the violating the restricted divided highway. I'm dismissing driving on the wrong side of the road. I'm dismissing the red light violation. I'm dismissing the driving on a suspended license. And I'm also dismissing driving with no insurance. And again, that's because what the officer wrote on the warrantless arrest affidavit, I don't see any details regarding those offenses, so it's insufficient probable cause. Now, that doesn't mean they can't come back and add those offenses again once they've issued the warrants correctly. But I'm dismissing it for today. So the charges that you do have left is the speeding violation, that's a $500 bond. The reckless driving is a $1,500 bond. The violation of the seatbelt, that's a $500 bond. And fleeing from a police officer, I've set that bond at $10,000. So your total bond amount is $12,500. Do you understand what I've mentioned as far as your charges and your bond amount, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I do have your next court date, which will be your preliminary hearing date scheduled for July 20th at July 20th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. It will take place by Zoom video conference.
He's just gonna run again. Why let him out?
I did not see that you requested the services of a court-appointed attorney. Do you plan to hire your own attorney?
If I could, I would like to get it from the court, please.
Okay, well, I didn't see that you completed the form. Let me take a look and let me get your forms. That's why we give you all these forms to complete before the court proceeding, so that way I can review it and determine whether or not you qualify. When y'all don't complete the forms, I assume that you're not asking for the court's services.
So the lady who had some meth on her got a $40,000 bail, but a guy who puts thousands of people at risk running from the cops only gets a $10,000 bill.
No, you just signed and you didn't put any information. So, and this is important for any court-appointed attorney to have. Are you employed at all, sir?
Not at this moment, no.
He's Antifa. He gets employed by George Soros.
I was at like 3 weeks ago, I was shot in my chest in Michigan, and I just got out of the hospital a couple weeks ago. So I'm just trying to heal, and then this happened. This was just a random thing.
Just a random thing.
Do you have an address for your court-appointed attorney?
Yeah, in Michigan.
Okay, so whatever address, that is an address for you to receive any notices, and for your attorney to contact you is the address that I need.
2840 Berwick, Burrwwick.
Welcome to Georgia. If I was a defense attorney, I'd change my name to Never Loses. Eddie Never Loses.
Michigan, 49546.
What is it? Berwick Drive, Berwick Road? What is that?
Street.
Okay. Give me 1 second before you hang on, because I have to complete this form.
Hold on, Donnie's barking at somebody. I'll be right back.
You said the zip code was 49456.
49546.
I'm sorry, tell it to me one more time.
49546.
Okay. And do you have a phone number to provide to the court-appointed attorney?
616-617.
Somebody text him.
1179.
What's up, Sharon?
Okay, so I am going to
Somebody send him a
appoint an
text.
attorney to represent you in this case. So your attorney will be in contact with you and also will assist you with your preliminary hearing date in the event that you are still incarcerated. Did you have any questions for me regarding the information that I've provided you?
Richard,
Yes,
go
ma'am.
for
I
it.
just
Go
had a
call
question
him.
on the bond. Is there any way that you could place it as a 15 or 10% so I could possibly, because I'm not from around here and I plan on taking care of this. I don't know what that bond is. 12,000. Is that cash or surety or is that 10%?
So if you do not have that amount in cash, then
I'm
what
just
you'll have to
joking,
do is
Gra.
you'll have to go through a commercial bonding company. So you'll have to make some phone calls. The deputies there will provide you with a list of bonding companies that you can go through. Make some phone calls to them, let them know your bond is $12,500, and then they'll tell you what percentage they'll charge you in order for them to post the bond for you. So if they tell you 10%, then it will be 10% of the $12,500, which is $1,250. So it just depends. You'll have to call around to the bonding companies that's approved by the sheriff's office, and they'll be able to take it from there. Understood?
You got it, Judge.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. You may be excused.
And who's the next contestant? I still got to make that.
Brandon Hayes.
Dude, my best friend from high
Are you
school's name was
Brandon
Brandon
Paul
Hayes. Oh my gosh, I gotta send
All
this,
right, so
clip
Mr.
this and send it
Hayes,
to him.
I am going to tell you what offenses you've been charged with. You've been charged with several misdemeanor offenses.
Several.
You have obstructing an officer. That bond is $1,500. Reckless driving. That bond is $3,000. Laying drags. That bond is $500.
Laying drags. That must be peeling out.
The charge of failure to change your address on the license. I didn't find that there was sufficient probable cause on the warrantless arrest affidavit. And I've also dismissed the no tail light violation for that same reason. You've also been charged with a red light violation. That bond is $500. Seatbelt violation. That bond is $500. Fleeing from a police officer. That bond is $3,000. Use or possession of a drug-related object. That bond is $500. Hit or run accident. That bond is $3,000. Aggressive driving. That bond is $500.
I don't get the driving without
that bond is $500.
If you're dumb enough not to wear a seatbelt, that's your own bad.
The offenses that do remain is $13,500. Do you understand what I mentioned as far as your charges and your bond amount, Mr. Hayes?
Ma'am?
Okay, now your preliminary hearing date, your next court date is scheduled for July 19th at 8:30 a.m. That will be by Zoom video conference. Now, because you have all misdemeanor charges, you can exercise your option to waive that court date. If you bond out, that court date is automatically waived.
He's a driving instructor.
But if you don't bond out, you have the option of waiving that court date, and it just moves your case along a little faster in the process, and your next court date will be arraignment. Do you want to waive the July 19th date, or do you want to keep it scheduled?
That's true. That is Sharon. She's dropping all those. By the way, guys, this is from July 4th. I couldn't find anything live.
If you're still incarcerated, you'll be brought before the court on that date, and we'll determine whether or not there's enough probable cause to keep you detained. I have indicated here that you did not complete a court-appointed form. Are you planning to hire your own attorney to represent you, or you plan to represent yourself because you didn't apply asking for any services from the court?
When they gave me the paper, I had two papers. He said only complete one.
Let me take a look because I didn't see anything written down for you. Okay, I take that back. I do see where you completed. So,
Why are you lying, Judge?
so based on your responses, you do qualify to have an attorney represent you. So I have appointed a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me regarding the information I provided you with, sir? All right, you may be excused. Best of luck to you.
You want a treat again, don't you? You're gonna get fat with all these treats. Right, Sage Rush? She's quick. That's cool. I mean, that way it's not boring. The other courts, they take forever. Should I give Donnie a treat?
Good morning. May I have your name, sir?
You guys type that in. I got to give Donnie a treat.
I'm sorry.
That's
say that
a
for
guy?
me one more time. I couldn't hear you. Okay,
that looks
Mr.
like
Martin,
a female.
Good morning. You have been charged with 2 misdemeanor offenses. You have a misdemeanor theft by taking and a misdemeanor obstruction. The theft by taking is a $2,000 bond. The obstruction of an officer is a $1,500 bond. So your total bond amount between the offenses is $3,500.
Well, that's nothing.
As a special condition of your bond to be released, you cannot return to the Quick Trip gas station at 8140 Terra Boulevard in Jonesboro while this bond condition is in place. Do you understand what I've mentioned as far as your charges, your bond amount, and that special condition? All right, so your next court date is your preliminary hearing date. That's being scheduled for July 19th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m.
There we go.
It will take place by Zoom video conference. Now, if you bond out before that date, that court date automatically goes away. Or you can go ahead and waive that court date today, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Did you want to waive that court date, or do you want to keep it scheduled? Okay, so it will remain scheduled. And after reviewing your application for a court-appointed attorney, I've granted your request. You will have an attorney appointed to represent you in your case. Do you have any questions for me regarding what I've just mentioned, sir? All right, you may be excused. Have a good day.
That's what I should do. I should add a link to like Amazon so you guys can buy Donnie treats and the puppies treats.
Good morning. What's your name?
Gary McLaurin.
Mr. McLaurin, you've been charged with 3 misdemeanors. DUI, alcohol, less safe. That bond is $5,000. Following too closely, that bond is $500. And improper lane change, that bond is $500. So your total bond amount is $6,000. Do you understand what I've mentioned as far as what you've been charged with and your bond amount? Okay, your next court date is your preliminary hearing date. It's scheduled for July 19th at 8:30 a.m. by Zoom video conference. If you bond out before then, that court date gets waived and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Because you are charged with all misdemeanors, you do have the opportunity to go ahead and waive that court date. Did you want to waive that court date, or do you want to just keep it scheduled?
Waive it. I plan on leaving today.
Okay, so you will receive a waiver form from the deputy. So make sure you sign your waiver form and make sure you indicate your name clearly so that way I know it's you that's waived that court date. I did review your application for a court-appointed attorney, and I've appointed an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions for me regarding the information I just provided you with, sir?
My mom's supposed to come bail me out, but she's not from Georgia. Is that gonna be a problem?
Is she using a bonding company?
Probably.
Okay, just have her talk to the bonding company. They'll be able to tell her. I'm not sure,
Have fun at work,
it
Hope.
depends on the bonding company. So she can ask that question to the bonding company, but she should be able to take care of it for you. All right, have a good day, sir. Best of luck to you.
Poor mom got to come bail out her son.
Good Good morning, may I have your name?
Person.
Okay, Mr. Percy, you've been charged with one misdemeanor offense of battery family violence. I've set that bond at $3,000. As a special condition to your bond, you're to stay away and have no contact with your grandma, Tina Costin. I'm also not allowing you to go back to 10519 to
How you gonna
Bono
beat up your
Trail in
grandma?
Jonesboro, Georgia, 30238. In the event that you do have some belongings there, you can go back accompanied with a law enforcement to collect any of your personal belongings. So once you're released, you have to make an appointment with the Clayton County Sheriff's Office within 10 days, and they'll escort you back to the residence.
I don't care what your grandma does. You never beat your grandma.
Gather my things.
Say that again?
I'll just have a family member gather my stuff for me.
I mean, that's fine. However you want to retrieve your belongings, just be careful not to have any contact with grandma. So do you understand those special conditions in your charge?
What a douchebag.
Okay. Your next court date is your preliminary hearing date. It's being scheduled for July 19th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. by Zoom video conference. Now, if you bond out before that date, that court date gets automatically waived and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Or you can waive that court date here today. Did you want to waive it or leave it scheduled?
Leave it scheduled.
Okay. And I have appointed an attorney to represent you, so you will have representation in your court proceedings. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Percy? All right, best of luck to you. Have a good day.
Your grandma
Good
would
morning.
beat your ass.
Are you Felipe Slayton? All right. So, Mr. Slayton, you've been charged with a misdemeanor offense of battery. That bond is $5,000. You've also been charged with a felony criminal damage to property. That bond is $3,000. And you've been charged with felony aggravated assault. I am denying bond on the aggravated assault, the felony aggravated assault. So your other bond, the total is $8,000. But because I am denying the bond on the ag assault, you won't be able to bond out.
I didn't.
I am going to schedule a separate bond hearing date for you. That will be July 22nd, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. It will be by Zoom video conference, just like this proceeding. Also, your preliminary hearing date to determine whether or not there is enough probable cause to keep you detained, that court date is July 20th. So you have July 20th and July 22nd. During your preliminary hearing date, as I mentioned, there will be a determination whether there is enough probable cause. That hearing will take place at 8:30 a.m. by Zoom video conference as well. So you'll be brought up before the court on both of those dates. Now, there will be a special condition if you're given a bond on the ag assault, and there's a special condition on the battery and criminal damage. You can't have any contact with Yolanda Sykes. Stay away and have no contact with her. Do you understand what I've mentioned, Mr. Slayton, regarding your bond, your offenses, and the special condition?
I don't on the special conditions. I don't know Miss Yolanda Sykes. I know a Mr. Bryson Sykes. I don't know Yolanda Sykes. That's why I'm kind of confused on how am I getting in.
Okay, well, the warrantless arrest affidavit that was taken out by the officer, it says that you committed the offense of battery when you struck the victim, Miss Yolanda Sykes, in the face/neck, leaving reddish marks and whelping from a physical altercation.
Maybe it's a transgendered person.
Mr. Slayton did commit the offense of aggravated assault when he brandished a black and color handgun, Glock, and pointed it at the head of the victim, Miss Sykes.
Why are we watching this? Because some people enjoy watching this.
Did commit the offense of criminal damage to property when he intentionally broke the cell phone, an iPhone 11 Pro Max, of the victim, Miss Sykes. This incident occurred at 1130 Quail Hunt Drive in the city of Riverdale, Clayton County, Georgia. So she is the named victim on the warrantless arrest affidavit. So that is that special condition there. If you don't know her, then it's likely that you won't
like his man bun.
come in contact with her then. But that condition is going to remain in place. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in these proceedings, so you will have counsel present. Did you have any other questions for me, Mr. Slayton, regarding information I just gave you?
One more, I won't hold you too long. As far as the witnesses that were there stating that there was no gun, that the young man, which is Bryson Sykes, had the gun and was pulled on me. I'm confused on how
Is I ain't gonna hold you too long. Like,
I don't have any of that.
Long story short.
So you know the narrative that I just read to you, Mr. Slayton, that is the only thing that was written on this warrantless arrest affidavit. So that is some good information to tell your lawyer, because that's the purpose. Remember, I told you the preliminary hearing. At the preliminary hearing, your lawyer will have an opportunity to bring any witnesses.
Deserve a trip down the
your
stairs.
lawyer will have the opportunity to cross-examine the officer. And then at that time, the court will determine.
I'm not going to comment on that, Johnny, but
to keep the ag assault and the rest of the offenses.
I wish they would prosecute
it. So July 20th is that date for you. All right. Do you have any other questions? All right.
You guys like opalescent? Look at this thing is opalescent. Can you see it? See the colors on this bowl? I hope I made a good. I bought this at the thrift store. I resell stuff, so I'm hoping this is a good. I gotta look it up still.
Good morning. May I have your name?
Quavius Thompson.
All right, Mr. Thompson, you've been charged with one misdemeanor offense of obstructing an officer. Your bond is set at $2,000. Do you understand what you've been charged with and your bond amount?
Why are you talking to my girlfriend like that?
Your next court date is your preliminary hearing date. That is being scheduled for July 19, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. by Zoom video conference. Now, if you bond out, that court date will be waived and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. You also have the opportunity to waive that court date today. Do you want to waive that court date or do you want to leave it scheduled?
What would be the difference if I waive it now and then you get waived on the loan?
So if you buy, so the preliminary hearing date, the purpose of that court date is to determine whether there's enough probable cause to keep you detained. But if you bond out, you're no longer detained. So there's no purpose for that hearing. So if you bond out today, tomorrow, next week, that court date automatically goes away, it gets waived. But if you don't bond out next week or anytime before July 19th, then on July 19th, you'll be brought before the court. If you keep that court date scheduled, you'll be brought before the court. And then at that time, the court will determine whether or not there's enough probable cause to keep you incarcerated. Now, let's say if you're still incarcerated and you decide to waive that court date and you just get, your case moves along a lot quicker and you'll get to arraignment. And at arraignment, that court date, you'll plead guilty or not guilty at that time. So if you waive it today and you're still incarcerated, it just moves your case along a little faster. But if you know you're going to bond out anyway, sometimes people decide to keep it scheduled because they're going to bond out anyway. It's up to you. If you're not sure, I'll just leave it scheduled. And if you bond out, you'll automatically have your court date waived. Do you want me to just do that? Leave it scheduled?
I'm sure I'm gonna bond out.
I'm sorry?
I'm sure I'm gonna bond out.
Okay.
Well, then why are you worried?
So I'll leave it scheduled then because it'll automatically be waived. And then you'll receive a new court date in the mail. And I have appointed an attorney to represent you, so you will have counsel during these proceedings. Do you have any additional questions, Mr. Thompson? All right, you may be excused. Have a good day. Durante Wilson.
How you doing, y'all?
I'm doing well, Mr. Wilson. Good morning. So you have been charged with 3 misdemeanor offenses. You have a cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. That bond is $3,000. You also have a misdemeanor criminal trespass.
There you go, Johnny. Thank you for your service.
$2,000. And you also have a simple battery, family violence. I am denying bond. It is a misdemeanor, but I'm denying bond because I see that you still have, that you were just released on bond for an open case that you have in Clayton County with the offense of ag assault and possession of a firearm. I see that you just got that charge December of 2021, and that case is still open and pending with Clayton County Superior Court. So given that I do have concerns about the fact that you've gotten these new charges, despite the fact that you are out on bond now on those other violent felony charges. Okay.
Well,
hang on. Let me give my information and then I'll ask you if you have any questions. So
thank you, Johnny.
That is the reason that I've denied bond on that offense and granted bond on the other two. And as
how much does that cost you, Doug? Isn't that expensive?
To the bond on the other two offenses and for the battery, if you do get that bond, you are to have no contact with Keisha Wilson. I think that was your mother and your brother Nalej Johnson. And I'm not allowing you to go back to 1606 Fairway Point Drive in Riverdale, Georgia. If it's a shared residence, I'll let you collect some of your personal belongings and you can let me know. But what questions did you have about the bond conditions and the offenses that I mentioned?
Well, the charge, I guess, that you're wanting me out on, I mean, I basically just started a job. So, I mean, I'm not sure. Is that basic? Like, what would be your reason for stopping me getting bond? Is because of the prior charges that I just had?
Yeah, that charge is still pending. At least what I'm showing is still pending, correct?
Yes, ma'am. It's still pending, but that's so basically, how can I'm trying to put this in a context that you can understand without trying to sound crazy. Basically,
just ask it as a question. What is your question?
Charges. Those charges.
And don't say basically.
Me from getting the bond, which is the charges that I have right now that I'm in front of you are misdemeanors. So basically, that has something to do with these charges. I mean, that's the only reason that you're not granting me bond because
yes. So whenever we determine the issue of bond, we look at your criminal history. We look at, we consider protection of the public. We consider the seriousness of the offense. We consider whether or not you'll be able to, or the probability that you're going to show up at court. So when you came before this court back on your last offense, the ag assault and possession of a firearm, you were given a bond then, correct?
Oh, ma'am, not initially.
Not initially, but you obviously were out at some point. So you weren't initially given a bond, but then later on you've been given a bond, right? And so you're out on bond. Well, before today, you were out on bond on those charges, correct?
Correct.
And those charges are still pending. What I did was I looked up your case and I saw that felony ag assault and possession of a firearm, those charges are still pending. So when I'm looking at your file, I have concerns that now you have domestic violence or violent charges again
with the gun
6 months later. That concerns the court. So, you're asking a question of why I reached the decision I did. That is why. I'm concerned about your ability to stay out of trouble, given the fact that you were out on bond before. Now, I will give...
I'm sorry, I apologize. I can stay out of trouble, Your Honor. It was just...
No, you can't.
Don't say what happened. I'm trying to save you from yourself. Okay? I'm not trying to prevent you from being heard, but I'm saving you from yourself. I don't want you to start going into what happened. Whether it was a misunderstanding, regardless of what happened, I just have concerns that you're now back in front of the court again 6 months later.
Do you have good internet up there in the mountain, Sharon? Or do you have Starlink like I do?
Mr. Wilson, that bond hearing date is going to be July 22nd. On July 22nd, that's when you'll be able to address the issue of bond again. I'm appointing you an attorney. I have granted that request. So I'm going to appoint an attorney. I don't know if you have, do you have an attorney for your current case that's open? I'm sorry, was that yes or no? Okay, so Okay, so I don't know if they're gonna assign you the same court-appointed attorney or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and sign off on this one to have an attorney represent you on these charges at your bond hearing date on July 22nd at 8:30 a.m. It will be by Zoom video conference, so you'll be brought up before the court. Also, your preliminary hearing date is going to be July 19th, 2022. And so it's 8:30 a.m. by Zoom video conference. So during that date, you'll also be able to have the opportunity to determine whether or not there's enough probable cause to keep you detained on these charges, these current charges. But that's what led to my decision. Do you have any other questions for me, Mr. Wilson? I didn't hear you.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Best of luck to you, sir.
Yeah, we're running out of water here too, duh.
All right, let's go.
Hey, don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe button, please.
So
Por favor.
give me 1 second. Let me get the interpreter on the line. Un momento, Mr. Hernandez.
Why am I so ugly? Well, that's just the way God made me. Or are you talking about the people in court? Actually, you know what? If I had a nice house, I would actually keep this bowl. It's pretty awesome. Look, I like the colors. I like a lot of colors. That's pretty awesome. Oh, I bet, Willow. I know I gotta come back up and visit you guys again pretty soon. What is up, Ultimate? Alright, what do you think this guy's in for? I'm gonna say he's young. It's gotta be drugs. It's gotta be drugs. Yeah, you know, if you want Starlink, you have to sign up now. It takes about a year before you get it. It took us about 8 months to get it. And then I actually had to build, so we put it on top of our roof and it wasn't tall enough. Then we added a small pole that still wasn't tall enough. I had to build, we bought an extension pole that's 35 feet long, and then I actually welded together a 24-foot tall frame, like a tower, and then we put the pole on top of that. And because it's 24 feet in the air, I couldn't lift it up to raise the pole up. So I had to raise the pole out when it was sideways and then lean it up. It was a bitch. Let me just put it that way. It was a bitch. Oh, thank you, Willow. Yeah, we like our Starlink, though. Like, what am I getting right now from Starlink? Let me look. It'll tell me if I'm hooked up to it. Starlink. So it says obstructed because of all our trees, and it's barely obstructed. So like if you see, it says, it's hard to see, but if you go to visibility, what they do is, so they have like a little roving thing that shows you, like, see, there's a big, that red right there is a big huge tree. Even though I'm up 45 feet in the air, there's still that big tree up there. And so it says every 5 minutes I have like, because of that one tree, every 5 minutes. Well, I have a couple little ones down here too. The little ones will show in a second. Come on around. Where are the little ones? I know they're right here somewhere.
Okay, Madam Interpreter, if you can raise your right hand, let me swear you in.
There they are. See them coming around now?
That you
Those
will
little
translate
trees.
from English to Spanish, Spanish to English to the best of your ability and skills.
But here's my speed test.
I do.
Okay, thank you. All right, good morning. Are you Yair Hernandez?
Buenos días, ¿es usted Jair Hernández? Yes.
Okay, can you raise your right hand, Mr. Hernandez? Let me swear you in.
¿Puede levantar la mano derecha, señor Hernández, para tomarle juramento?
Do you swear and affirm any statements you give before this court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, say yes and lower your hands.
Jura o afirma que las declaraciones que va a dar en este tribunal es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad. De ser así, diga sí y baje la mano.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, so this is your first appearance hearing before the Clayton County Magistrate Court.
Esta es su primera comparecencia, su audiencia frente a la Corte del Condado Clayton.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing, but should you give up this right, anything you say may be used against you at trial.
Usted tiene derecho a permanecer en silencio y no decir nada. Si usted renuncia a ese derecho, todo lo que diga puede ser usado en su contra en un juicio.
I wish I could do that. Order
You
in
have the
the
right
English
to the
classes.
presumption of innocence until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Usted tiene derecho a ser presumido inocente hasta que un juzgado pueda demostrar que no lo es, más allá de duda razonable.
You have the right to an indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors.
Tiene derecho a ser implicado por un gran jurado si es un crimen o para ser acusado por un jurado si es un delito menor.
You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
So why, if you're coming to this country for a better
Tiene
life,
derecho a un juicio
I don't get
expedito y
why
público por un
you
jurado.
would do that, but you won't learn the
You
language.
have
You
the
could have
right
even better
to
of a life.
see, hear, and cross-examine
Just
any
my thoughts.
witnesses who are called to testify against you.
Tiene derecho a ver, escuchar y contrainterrogar a cualquier testigo que sea presentado en su contra.
You have the right to subpoena any witnesses to testify on your behalf.
Tiene derecho a que se cite judicialmente a cualquier testigo que quiera que testifique en su favor.
You have the right to offer any evidence in your own defense.
Tiene derecho a presentar evidencia en su propia defensa.
But then
If
this
you
is
do
why.
not offer any evidence, there will be no presumption of guilt raised against you.
Si no presenta evidencia a su favor, no se presumirá culpabilidad en su contra.
And you have the right to have an attorney represent you in your case.
Tiene derecho a tener un abogado que lo represente en su caso.
Okay. So, Mr. Hernandez, you've been charged with a felony. Do you know what you have been charged with? Yes or no?
Yeah, I like this judge too.
Señor Hernández, usted ha sido acusado de un crimen. ¿Usted sabe de qué se le acusa, sí o no?
No.
He doesn't understand, right?
¿Cómo dijo?
Que sí sé de qué se me acusa.
They don't want to learn jail, Mandy.
I'm not able to hear his
For
answer
English.
and he's asking something.
Okay, can you ask him if he can repeat his answer?
¿Puede repetir y hablar más fuerte, por favor?
A mí se me acusa de que por andar con una menor.
¿Cómo dijo?
Porque salí con una menor.
Because I'm a minor? Or leaving with a minor?
Because I went out with a minor.
Okay. So at this time, I am denying bond, so you do not have a bond.
En este caso, yo no le estoy dando fianza, así que no tiene una fianza.
You will have a separate court date to determine whether or not you would be granted a bond to be released from jail.
See, the problem
Usted
is
va a tener una corte por separado
our
en otra
country makes it
fecha
so. Look,
para
I mean, they give him a
determinar
free
si se le pone
translator.
una fianza para que lo
Why should
liberen de la cárcel.
why should he learn English when
That bond date
everybody
will
translates
be
for him?
July 22nd, 2022.
Right? Why not be lazy?
Esa fecha será 22 de julio de 2022.
You will also have a preliminary hearing date to determine whether or not there is enough probable cause to keep you incarcerated on your charge.
Can you guys hear Donnie snoring?
También tendrá una audiencia preliminar en donde se va a determinar si hay suficientes pruebas en su contra para demostrar que hay una causa o motivo para mantenerlo por este cargo.
That court date is
That's what I say,
July
Mandy.
20th, 2022.
Esa fecha de corte es el 20 de julio de 2022.
Both of your court dates will take place at 8:30 a.m. by Zoom video conference.
Ambas fechas se van a llevar a cabo a las 8:30 a.m. por Zoom videoconferencia.
I have appointed an attorney to represent you, so you will have a lawyer present to help you at court.
He designado un abogado para que lo represente, así que usted va a tener un abogado presente en la corte.
Do you have any questions regarding the information I just provided you, Mr. Hernandez?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta sobre la información que le he proporcionado, señor Hernández?
No.
No.
Okay, have a good day, sir. Best of luck to you. All right, thank you, Madam Interpreter. I appreciate your help.
Buen día, señor.
Oh, sorry.
I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. That's what he said. He's like, Judge, I was just
Which one
bumping
do you
and
want to do
grinding.
first, the motion to exclude or the motion for summary judgment?
Oh, we got a
Your
new
Honor,
one.
we'd like to start with the motion to exclude Mr. or
What
Dr.
the heck
Davis.
just happened here? Did we just
Okay,
switch
let's
to an
proceed.
Isidore case?
Your Honor, this case is regarding an incident that happened at the Baylor Scott and White Hospital in Marble Falls in 2017. Mr. Bostic was.
Oh, this is a brand new one.
door
Okay,
into
hold
the
on.
lobby.
Very familiar with the facts.
Let's go back to this lady. See what else we can find with her. Here we go. This one's July 5th, the day after the 4th of July. This is the day after the 4th of July, so this one should be even better.
Good here, and is that Deputy Bush?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good morning, how you doing?
Morning, sir.
All right, so I got your email, Deputy Ricania, so you all have everyone?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and who's the person that needs the interpreter?
The last name's gonna be Cortez, Your Honor.
Cortez, okay. All right, so let's see, we'll go ahead and get started. We'll do the females, and then we'll see. Let's see.
Once
Rachel,
again, they're doing the
thank you. Good
females
morning.
first.
I
Why
got
the
your,
females get to go
response.
first? All right, so this one's from July 5th, guys. The day after.
All right, so we can
the 4th.
go ahead and get started.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, everyone. Today is July 5th, it's 2022. This is the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. First appearance calendar, Judge Knight's presiding. This morning is an informative calendar. I'm going to tell you what you're charged with. I'm going to tell you what your bond will be, and that's if you're entitled to a bond. Your next court date, which is your preliminary hearing date. Also, we'll appoint an attorney to represent you if you qualify. So what's happening today is this is an informative court session. It's not a hearing, it's not a trial. Also, I'm not your attorney, so I can't give you legal advice. I can't tell you what to do or how to proceed. The best source and person for that will be your attorney that you will speak with.
Oh, thank you for following, Sorrel. Hope I said it right, Sorrel. I think. Hello.
Offices. So the representative
Thank you for joining.
from those offices will be the best source of information. Today, I will let you know these specific things that I outlined, but before I do, here are
hi, Sharon.
constitutional rights.
I should have got
These
that.
rights never go away, and no one can take them away from you. You're
Makes
the only
sense.
person that can waive them. You have the right for the state to prove this charge or these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt.
Oh, the judge is in trouble. His phone's going off. You would think the judge would know to silence his phone.
All right. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury. You have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine any witnesses who the state may call to testify against you. Now, the state is the district attorney if you're charged with a felony. The state is the solicitor general if you're charged with a misdemeanor. The state includes state actors. That's anyone involved in your prosecution.
No, I don't think we need to hear all this. We already heard this, right?
Officer or drug technician or anyone involved that will testify against you.
Let's fast forward to this stuff.
Bond. So today, if you don't get a bond or you don't like the number that your bond is at, then you will speak with your attorney, and your attorney can speak with the district attorney, and then you can go from there with getting a better result, either an actual bond or a lower bond.
I feel that, Steven.
Also,
it's going to be 100 here today,
you
too.
may have special conditions of bond, so that means you can't go somewhere or contact someone. So, for example, don't go to 123 Main Street.
Like,
It's
I'm
a
going to have to go
special condition.
to
Do not contact
Fresno
Joe
today.
Smith is a special condition. If I say those things, for example, you can't go there or contact that person. Also, your next court date is your preliminary hearing date. Preliminary hearing, also probable cause hearing.
Okay, well,
prelim
let me fast
some
forward
other
still.
names for official witnesses. The judge, there was a if. or
We'll wait till he brings some up.
hearing, July 18th. If you're charged with an offense where so
Sharon, that's funny.
This matter not pending before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth shall be God. All right, gentlemen, be on standby. We'll have the ladies
This
first.
guy's quiet. I'm going to turn him up a little bit more. Yeah, why do the ladies get to go first? That's not fair.
All right, yes, ma'am. Good morning. What's your name? All right, can you say that again, please?
Bernice. Say your full name.
I'm in trouble hearing you. Can you speak up for me?
Bernice Adams.
All right, Ms. Adams. Ma'am, you're charged with one count of theft by taking. It's a misdemeanor. Your bond is $2,000. Special condition: you can't return or you can't have any contact with James Sink Field. Also, your preliminary hearing is July 19th at 8:30, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you.
I should almost keep this for myself, but I don't drink coffee. So I don't need a big bug, but it's got a B on there.
All right. What's your name?
Georgia Hastings.
All right, yes, ma'am. You're charged with one count of terroristic threats. It's a misdemeanor. 5,000 is your bond. No contact with Shanteria Brown. Preliminary hearing is scheduled for 19th of July at 8:30. And one moment here, Ms. Hester. All right, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Holmes, good morning to you. You're
Yeah,
charged with
we
one
can't have
count
swimming
of
pools here.
simple assault. It's a misdemeanor. Your bond is $2,500. No contact with Ameria Holmes at this time.
Are you talking about the energy
Preliminary
drinks,
hearing,
Sharon?
19th of July at 8:30, and I am appointing an attorney
Well,
to
I drink,
represent you.
just
Do you
not
have
today
any
because I got to
questions?
drive. I don't drink when I drive. I drive when I drink. Not even one anymore. I've made stupid mistakes, so I learned my lesson. Oh, coffee. Okay.
All right, yes, ma'am. What's your name?
Kim Keisha Barrett.
You said Barrett?
Mm-hmm.
This is both fugitives, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Who's the other? I thought it was two of them.
Yes, Ms. Boone as well.
Oh, okay. I see here now.
Fugitives, huh?
Miss Barrett and Miss Bone, good morning to you both. So all of the constitutional rights that I outlined, those rights apply to you. However, you're not here for a preliminary hearing. You're here for what is known as an extradition. Well, I'm letting you know what the procedures for an extradition hearing is. And you are here under OCGA, which is the official code of Georgia, annotated Title 17, Chapter 13. And that's Georgia law that indicates that you have options when it comes to being a fugitive. You're considered a fugitive. So as I mentioned earlier, as it relates to bond, because you're a fugitive, you're not getting a bond today because you will be considered a flight risk. So no bond for either Miss Boone or Miss Barrett. Happening is that for you, Miss Kim Keisha Bernice Barrett, the warrant reads that you did enter and remain in the state of Georgia, knowing that you were wanted by Escambia County Sheriff's Office. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I didn't hear the first part. Could you just repeat the first part before you said Escambia County?
Yes, ma'am. The warrant reads that you did enter and remain in the state of Georgia, knowing that you were wanted by Escambia County Sheriff's Office for violation of a court order.
All right, let me look where Escambia County
there's
is.
a bench warrant. The county is Sheriff's Office is located in the state of Alabama, and they will extradite. For you, Miss Bone, Cassandra Bone, your warrant reads that you did enter and remain in the state of Georgia, knowing that you're wanted by Calcasu Parish Sheriff's Office for
Louisiana.
Possession with intent to distribute marijuana is a felony. They will extradite. So this time, as I outlined, there's no bond, and you both have options. Your first option is you can fight or contest the formal extradition proceeding here in Georgia. So that means you can contest only these things that I will outline. One, that the document, which is the warrant or any other warrants, are invalid on its face. So the extradition paperwork is not correct. Secondly, you can contest whether the charges or offenses that I outline are actual real crimes in the respective states. And thirdly, you can contest whether you are
Georgia's really brutal.
the person, whether you are Kim Keisha Bernice Barrett or Cassandra M. Bone. And lastly, you can contest whether in fact you are a fugitive. So those are the four things you can contest. You cannot contest whether you're guilty or not guilty or anything else. That will be for the respective court. If you do so, you'll remain in custody of the Clayton County Jail, and then at the appropriate time, generally within 90 days, you'll have a hearing, and at that hearing, you can contest those four things. So the alternative is that you can waive the formal extradition proceedings and return. Generally, that can happen within 10 days. An extension can be asked for, but that is the procedure. So this time, Miss Barrett, what is your preference, ma'am?
I mean, I'm gonna sign this paper.
All right, so you can sign. You're waiving. Do you have any questions about the process?
I got like two questions. I was gonna say, because I'm misunderstanding what everybody's saying.
I don't know,
if
bro.
I sign this paper, could they still call back and say we are not coming to get her, or is it just set in stone that they say that they're coming to get? That's what I'm confused about.
Yes, ma'am. If they decide not to get you, then they will reach back out to the.
They told X-Ray's truck today.
Just come through, right?
They can do that at any time. So they could do that now or after it's signed.
Okay, cool.
All right. You have any other questions?
No, so I got like 10 days for these folks to come get me.
Early is 10 days. They can ask for an extension, but they usually get you or have you transported there. All right, you have any other questions?
No.
All right, Miss Bone, what is your preference, ma'am?
I'm signing the paper.
All right, so you're waiving. Do you have any questions?
Oh, yes, I do. I didn't know I had a warrant on.
All right, well, Miss Bone, now you know. You have any questions?
I don't know, Mandy. They ask if you're a U.S. citizen or not.
All right, Deputy Ortega, appreciate you, sir. We'll see you next time.
Yes, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
If they can ask if you're a U.S. citizen or not, who knows what all they can ask.
All right, let's see. The males are no longer on here. Let's see, Miss Lamek or
LaQuisha.
Can someone reach out to find out what's happening with the males, please? They're not on.
That goes pretty
earlier,
quickly.
I don't see them now.
Damn it. Frickin' Donnie chewed on my
jail judge. Okay, all right, perfect. Thank you. All right, Ms. Toles, good morning to you.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good.
He's the interpreter, huh?
The
Wow.
one gentleman that we need your services for, we're waiting on the males to come back on. So once they come back on, then we will we'll hear him.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
appreciate you coming out and be on standby for us. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
These court translators, they make a lot of money, don't they? All right, hold on. Let's fast forward through this till the males come on.
All right, Deputy Bush, we lost you for a minute.
Yes, Your Honor, I had some technical difficulties over here.
Yes, sir. All right, so we're ready for, if you can bring the individual who needs Spanish interpreter.
Cortez.
God damn it. They just fixed it and they're broke again. Fucking Donnie. Donnie, you suck.
All right, Ms. Toles, this is Villanueva or Jorge Cortez Villanueva.
Sure.
And Ms. Toles, you're on the oath as always here.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good morning, sir. Are you Jorge Cortez Villanueva?
Hola, señor. Buenos días. ¿Es usted Jorge Cortés Villanueva?
Sí, no.
Yes, that's my name.
Wow, she
All
sounds so
right,
professional.
sir, you are here in the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. It's July 5th, 2022.
Señor, usted está aquí en la sala menor del Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton. Hoy es 5 de julio 2022.
All right, I'm Judge Knights, and this is your first appearance.
Yo soy el juez Knights y esta audiencia es su comparecencia inicial.
You have certain United States constitutional rights that never go away, and you're the only one that can waive them.
Usted tiene ciertos derechos
Now, if you're not a citizen of the United States, how do you get these
aquí en
rights?
Estados Unidos que nunca desaparezcan hasta que usted los renuncia.
You have the right for the state to prove this charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt.
Tiene derecho a que el Estado pruebe esta acusación en su contra fuera de una duda razonable.
Scaring
you have the
you,
right to a
Doug.
speedy and public trial by jury.
Tiene derecho a un juicio público y sin demora ante un jurado.
You have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine any witnesses that the state may call to testify against you.
Tiene derecho a ver, escuchar y a contrainterrogar cualquier testigo convocado por el Estado para declarar en su contra.
Right to subpoena witnesses to testify on your own behalf and to present testimony if you choose to do so.
Tiene derecho a citar testigos para que declaren a su favor y presentar su propio testimonio si quisiera hacerlo.
If you choose not to testify, no presumption of your guilt may be raised.
Si elige no declarar, no se puede asumir culpabilidad de su parte.
And you have the right to an attorney through every proceeding.
Really,
Y también
Steven?
tiene derecho a un abogado durante cada
Bet your wife likes
diligencia
that.
judicial.
You're charged with one count of simple battery family violence.
Se le acusa de una infracción de violencia simple, violencia
What do you think? He
intrafamiliar.
beat up his wife?
And you're charged with 1 count of battery family violence.
Y también una infracción de
What's up,
violencia
firecracker?
intrafamiliar.
Your total bond is $7,500.
En total, la fianza está a $7,500.
Okay.
Okay.
There is a special condition that you have no contact with Natalia Cruz Iglesia.
Hay un contacto especial que dispone que no puede tener ningún contacto con Natalia Cruz Ignacio. Momentico, señor. Sir, may I, Your Honor, if the interpreter may inquire, was the second last name Ignacio, just to make sure I'm pronouncing that
It's
correctly?
Agacio.
Que no tenga ningún contacto, señor, con Natalia Cruz Agacio.
Okay, entendido.
Okay, understood.
Your next court date is your preliminary.
Su próxima audiencia será la audiencia preliminar, señor.
Preliminary hearing is a probable cause hearing.
La audiencia preliminar es para determinar el motivo fundado.
At that hearing, which is scheduled for July 19th at 8:30, you will have the chance to hear the state's witnesses testify.
En esta audiencia, que está programada para el 19 de julio a las 8:30, usted tendrá la oportunidad de escuchar el testimonio del testigo del Estado.
You can also testify and present evidence on your own behalf.
También usted pudiera declarar y presentar pruebas en su propia defensa.
At the end of that hearing, the judge will determine if there was a sufficient probable cause or whether your arrest was valid and legal.
Al concluirse la audiencia, el juez determinará si existen indicios fundados para determinar que se cometió un delito y que las acusaciones son válidas.
If your arrest was valid and legal, then your matter will be bound over to state court.
Si el arresto fue válido y legal, entonces la causa será consignado al tribunal estatal.
If your arrest was illegal or invalid, your charges will be dismissed.
Si el arresto fue ilegal y inválido, entonces las infracciones quedarán desestimadas.
Cali Lou, who was that?
Raise your
Oh
right
yeah, I
hand
remember
for me.
Beyond Scared Straight.
Levante la
I
mano
remember
derecha,
that
por
show.
favor, señor.
They
You
came
solemnly
here.
swear or affirm any statements or testimony you will give in this matter not pending before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Jura solemnemente que el testimonio que va a presentar en este asunto ahora pendiente ante el tribunal será la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad ante Dios. ¿Lo jura, señor?
Sí, lo juro.
Yes, I swear.
Do you have any
'Cause I
questions
swear
about what I have outlined to you this morning?
Señor, ¿tiene usted alguna
stars in
pregunta
the
sobre lo que
sky.
yo ya le expliqué esta
I'll be
mañana?
there.
Sí.
Yes.
What's up, your
Pregunta
gorgeous?
sería de la fianza que tengo, si la pagan, o sea, yo puedo ya salir en libertad.
Yes, the question I have, sir, is if the bond that I have, if it's paid, may I be released?
That's the whole point of
Yes,
paying
sir.
the
If there are
bond.
no holds on you from any other agency or jurisdiction, then yes.
Sí, señor. Si no existe ninguna otra orden de detención de ninguna agencia o jurisdicción, entonces sí, saldría en libertad.
En cuanto se pague la fianza.
As soon as the bond is paid.
Yes.
Sí, señor.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Learn the language,
Thank you,
bro.
sir.
Gracias, señor.
Your first appearance.
Queda concluida la audiencia. Gracias.
All right, Ms. Toles, thank you for your service here. And
Thank you so much. Have a great afternoon, sir.
You too. Thank you. All right. Bye. Yes, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
What's your name?
I don't know about that.
I don't know who you are, sir.
I hear Avalos.
All right, Mr. Avalos.
What's up,
You're charged
Ziggy?
with one count of improper lane change. Your bond is $500. One count of driving with an class violation with your license is $500. Fleeing or attempting to elude.
You're scared of
police,
clowns too, duh?
$2,000. preliminary hearing scheduled for July 19th at 8:30. And I am appointing an attorney to represent you, sir. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
I love clowns. My mom used to collect them.
Morning.
Which animated cop
Can you
show?
hear me?
Oh, are you talking
Yes,
about
sir.
the one on Netflix?
All right, who are you, sir?
Paradise PD or whatever?
My name is Robert Bell IV.
All right, Mr. Bell. You're charged with 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. It's a felony. Your bond is $20,000. Theft by taking, $2,000. Possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, $5,000.
Oh, John
No
Gacy.
contact with Andrea Carter. Preliminary hearing is the 18th of July at 8:30. And I am appointing an attorney to represent you, sir. You have any questions, Mr. Bell?
No, sir. You say 18th of July, sir?
Sir, 8:30.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. What you waiting on, sir? Am I supposed to know who you are?
I'm Devon Johnson.
You're the
All right,
judge, aren't
Mr.
you?
Johnson. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of simple assault. All right, let's see here.
What was Growl rocking today?
All right, Mr. Johnson, how you feeling about this charge here this morning?
I feel very uneasy about it, seeing as though I'm a first-time offender. I've never been in jail, I've never had a record, and I've never been in any trouble like this. So simple assault in terms of this case, I feel as though it's a bit misunderstanding because I stood still. This is a female we're talking in reference to, and I made no sudden movements, no hand gestures of any kind.
So he hit a
And
female.
I have a witness who is the head of the household who didn't exactly witness the incident in the backyard at the house, but was current at the time of the incident.
Mr. Johnson.
At the time of the incident, my apologies.
I agree with you, sir. I'm dismissing this, okay?
Thank you so much.
I reviewed it this morning and it's a dismissal, sir. So you'll be released.
It's your lucky day.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Good luck to you.
Definitely your lucky
Hi,
day.
Your Honor. I'm Quavion Booker.
Good morning to you, sir. What's your name?
Quavion Booker.
All right, Mr. Booker. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. It's a misdemeanor. $1,500 is your bond.
You go to jail for less than an ounce of weed?
So that'll be 150.
Well, you have to talk with someone at the bonding company. I don't know what those numbers are. The 19th of July, 8:30. That's when your preliminary hearing is.
Less than an ounce of weed and you get a
All right, Mr. Booker,
$1,500
one more thing,
bond.
sir.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Wow.
I am appointing an attorney to represent you.
Okay.
All right, you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
Ziggy.
All right, thank you.
Donnie chewed up my tape and it's really messing me up. And I don't
Sir,
really
good
do
morning.
tape
What's your
anymore.
name?
Mike.
All right, Mr. Kane. All right, sir. You know all the charges you have?
No.
All right, speeding, 2,000. Trafficking cocaine.
Whoa.
Violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. That's marijuana with intent to distribute. And violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act.
If you
possession
got
of
cocaine and
with
weed on you,
intent to
why are you
distribute. On the
speeding? That's
trafficking
just stupid.
and the marijuana with intent to distribute and the cocaine with intent to distribute, there's no bond on those offenses. The 18th of July, 8:30 is your preliminary hearing.
Fuck.
The 22nd of July at 8:30 is your bond hearing.
Right, duh.
You have any questions, sir?
No.
All right, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. All right, good luck to you.
Shit, I got some weed right here. Where are my edibles?
Jerry Jones.
I got weed right here.
You said your last name is
Jones.
Jones?
Yes, sir.
1,000 milligrams. It's legal in California, though. Well, yeah, girl, you don't do any drugs and stuff, but.
All right, I'm gonna come back to you. I don't see your paperwork at the moment, okay?
Is it legal to have weed in Oklahoma?
Tyrone Map, sir.
Sorry, what's your name?
Tyrone Mapson, M-A-P-S-O-N.
Tyrone.
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Mapson. You're charged with 1 count of battery, it's a misdemeanor, and 1 count of cruelty to children in the first degree. It's a felony. $2,500 on each of those two, all right? 5,000 is your total. Your preliminary hearing is scheduled for the 18th of July at 8:30.
Yes, sir.
No, you don't. It's everything is legal here, duh. California,
Yes,
it's
sir. I understand the
recreation is
situation, but I
legal.
can't go lower than that, sir, okay? Speak with your lawyer. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you.
Yes, sir.
And your lawyer can help you better than I can tell you today, okay?
Heck, you can go to Oakland, California, and
do you have
legally
any
buy
questions?
mushrooms.
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
You know, I don't really hold them too much for the beating a child, because you know what? Somebody, if you just spanked your child's bottom, somebody could call the cops and have you arrested for beating your kid. And I agree with spanking. My parents used to whoop my ass all the time, and it kept me good shape.
Yes, sir. Good morning. I'm doing good. How about you?
He needs a new shirt.
Sir.
All right. What's your name?
Octavius Moore.
All right, Mr. Moore. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of disorderly conduct. It's a misdemeanor. Your bond is $1,500. And 1 count of criminal trespass, misdemeanor, $2,500. All right, 4,000 is your total. Your preliminary hearing is scheduled for the 19th of July, 8:30. And also, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions, Mr. Moore?
No, I got a question. Could I go home?
Can you do what?
Go home?
Do you have any questions? No, I have a
Once you
question.
pay your bond, yes.
My brother paying that.
All right, so once your brother pays the bond, if there are no holds on you, sir, then you're released or will be released.
Ain't no sense in holding me.
All right, sir.
Excuse me, sir. I was eating my food in the park and they
All right, I'm gonna stop you, okay?
arrested me for that.
Tell that to your lawyer.
Come on, man.
He's saving you from yourself, bro.
Yes, sir. Good morning to you.
Yes, Austin Patterson.
All right, Mr. Patterson. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of battery family violence. It's a misdemeanor.
There's a lot of
At this
batteries
time,
in this
your
county.
bond is 5,000. You can't have contact with Darrell Jones. The 19th of July at 8:30. That's your bond hearing. I'm sorry, your preliminary hearing, July 19th at 8:30. And also,
Is that his
Mr.
boyfriend or is
Patterson,
that
I
his
am
brother?
appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any questions, sir?
Yes, I do. So the situation.
Don't talk about it.
I guess.
You about to tell me the details?
No. The victim is at my home. I just moved here from, out of state, so I have nowhere else to go. So I'm trying to figure out how do I go.
Well, I just put no contact, so I didn't say you can't go back to the home. I do see the situation here, but speak to your lawyer and your lawyer can get that changed.
Okay, one more question. Is there a way I can get him out if I go back? No?
Oh yeah, there's definitely a way to get him out. I can't tell you that way. You gotta talk to your lawyer.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Wait, I'm sorry. How much is the bond again? I'm sorry.
5,000.
5,000.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. What's your name?
Cedric Senior Jr.
All right, Mr. Senior.
Mr. Senior.
1 count of criminal trespass. It's a misdemeanor. Your bond is 1,000. Preliminary hearing is scheduled for the 19th of July, 8:30. And you're hiring your own attorney, sir. You have any questions?
Sorry, I don't.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you, sir.
He must do this a lot if he's got his own. He's got an attorney on retainer.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
German Smith.
What's your name?
German Smith.
All right, Mr. Smith, you have to come back tomorrow, okay? Your paperwork wasn't sent over this morning. All right.
That sucks.
Yes, sir. Good morning. What's your name?
My name's
Mr.
Eddie Block.
Woods.
Don't you know? I'm kind of a big deal.
Ward, Ricardo Ward. All right, Mr. Ward, sir, you're charged with possession of firearm.
Uh-oh. Ruh-roh, he's in
discharge of a
trouble.
weapon, possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, possession of a sawed-off shotgun.
Whoa!
Participation in gang activity, 2 counts of that.
This is basically your
On
gorgeous.
each of those 5 offenses,
It's just
your bond
people
is
in court getting
5,000
their first hearing, their
each.
preliminary
So it's
hearings.
25,000 so far. Possession of or violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, possession with intent to distribute marijuana, 8,000 is your bond on that offense. Your preliminary hearing is scheduled for the 18th of July at 8:30.
Right, I'm world famous. Last man standing.
Mr. Ward, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions, sir?
You gave me a bond for 6 no charges.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
All right, yes, sir. Thank you.
It's probably not that bad. I've been in LA County Jail. It's not that bad.
Good morning, sir. Mr. Woods, Raymond Woods.
Yes, sir. Good morning to you, Mr. Woods. You're charged with 1 count of aggravated stalking. It's a felony. There's no bond today. July 18th, 8:30 is your preliminary hearing.
Sir, can I
Also, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions, sir?
Yes, sir. Like, I never was aware that there was a TPO. I never was served. I never was served by an officer that's saying there was a TPO. I wasn't aware that there was a TPO.
All right, well, that's not for me to decide today, sir. That's for you and your lawyer to figure out after today.
Is there any way you can look and see?
There's no way I can look and see. There's plenty of ways you and your lawyer can look and see.
Okay.
Right, Sharon?
All right. Yes, sir.
Oh my gosh, exactly right.
Sir, 8:30.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. I don't have paperwork for you, Mr. Jones. All right. So you're gonna have to come back
Mr.
tomorrow.
Jones and me.
Come back tomorrow?
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you.
What do you mean
All
I
right,
share too
Deputy
much
Bush.
information?
Yes, sir.
We'll see you next time. Appreciate you.
I'm an open book.
Yes, sir.
I've done what
Yes,
I've
sir.
done.
Tomorrow.
Everybody has made mistakes in their lives, so
You have a
don't bother me any. Uh-oh, what did I do? Oops, did I just do something? Was that the last one?
Sir.
Okay, that was the last one there. Let's see if we can find another one
Thanks,
here.
sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll look up one. What's another one? Here we go. This is from July 3rd. And this will be the last one I do, because then I got to go to Fresno. I got to go do some shopping. And I got to deliver a package.
You all are ready. I just got the forms, so we're good and ready.
Well, I'm going to leave by
when
1.
you are.
Yes, Sean. I'm going to pull them out.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you.
Oh, they got a lot of girls in jail today. I don't care. You know what? I'm me. My name is Eddie. And you can be judgmental all you want. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. I can handle it. Whoa, look at the frickin' hair on that lady.
You are ready to begin.
Wow.
All right, Deputy Bush. Thank you. All right. Good morning, everyone. Today is July
What's up,
3rd,
Yeedy?
2022. This is the magistrate.
You're all
Court
good, my friend.
of Clayton County.
Hope you're feeling good
first
today.
appearance calendar. Judge Knight's presiding here. Today is an informative calendar. I
Oh
must
yeah, we
let
can
you
fast
know
forward
that
through all this stuff.
this is being in the state alone to prove
We
because
don't need
by
the
law,
rules.
court date misdemeanor.
10 minutes worth of rules.
To help you got. Testimony you may give in this first appearance matter, now pending before the court, shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I don't. By the
All
way,
right.
guys, starting Thursday nights,
All right,
we're
so
gonna
we're ready,
start
gentlemen. Be
having
on standby. We'll have the
a
ladies
group
first.
streamer collaboration. We're just all gonna be in one Discord chat, just talking. You guys can ask us questions. Yeety's gonna be part of it. Me, only Mr. Bill, Central, Drunk Uncle, of course, will be in there. So yeah, starting on Thursdays. Oh yeah, Kate, the Irish lady's gonna be with us. Just it's just a question and answer kind of deal. Or is it Sunday nights? I forget. It's either Thursday or Sunday nights. I forget. I think
All right,
Thursday
good morning.
nights.
What's your name?
Right, Sharon?
I speak loud and clear.
I already got people threatening my life, so I mean, what else? What else can you do to me?
All right, what's your name?
Krishana Ackland.
All right, Ms. Ackland, you're charged with one count of battery, family. It's a misdemeanor. Your bond amount is $5,000. There's no contact with Gus Griffin at this time. Preliminary hearing is the 19th of July, 8:30. And I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am. What's your name?
All right, sorry guys, I gotta stop this real quick. For all of you guys that are normal to my chat, my buddy, the guy who makes all my songs, Mr. Nice Guy, he makes all my songs. His baby was due in 2 weeks, and so over the weekend I bought him a little gift basket. He texts me, he's like, Eddie, I just got the gift basket and you jinxed us because we're now going to the hospital because my Lisa's about to have the baby. So everybody keep your thoughts and prayers for Lisa, the baby, and Mr. Nice Guy. And let's hope they have a safe pregnancy delivery today. So that's going to be awesome. Sharon, I'm thinking we're saying like 7 o'clock at night. I'm not sure. Yeety, do you remember what time? I'm not sure. Oh, he says maybe not till August. Yeah, my mixer's coming in soon too. My Rodecaster Pro, I sent it off to get fixed. It's supposed to get there today. But yeah, everybody think about Mr. Nice Guy. He's an awesome friend of mine.
All right, Ms. Arrington, you're charged with one count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, THC vape. Your bond is $3,000.
$3,000 for some
THC?
THC?
Less than an ounce, $1,500. Possession of a drug-related object, $500. Possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime.
Oh shit.
$5,000.
She's in trouble.
Preliminary hearing is the 18th July at 8:30. Ms. Arrington, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
She done messed up.
All right. All right, Ms. Peasley. Ma'am, you're charged with one count of loitering or proud. Your bond is $1,001.
Man, his internet's cutting up.
Possession of crack cocaine, $8,000. One count of possession of a drug-related object is $500.
So she had crack in a crack pipe.
Preliminary hearing, July 18th, 8:30. And I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
Order.
All right, Ms. Carter. You're charged with one count of criminal trespass, a misdemeanor. Your bond is $2,500. Your preliminary hearing is scheduled for the 19th of July. That's at 8:30. And I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Ms. Carter, you have any questions, ma'am? All right, thank you.
And I hate when stuff is just over
All right, man. What's your name?
a pound. Barely.
All right, Ms. Hayes. You're charged with improper lane change following too close, failure to change your address on your license, driving on the wrong side of the road, and failure to sign a citation. On those 5 offenses, your bond is $500 each.
This is in
And then you're
Clayton
also charged with
County,
obstruction.
Georgia.
Your bond is $1,000. Your preliminary hearing is
right on, Edie.
Scheduled for July 8:30. And I am appointing an attorney.
She got a tattoo on her neck and like right
Do
here.
you have any questions, Ms. Hayes?
Yes, sir. Could you repeat the date the screen froze?
Can you say that again, please?
Could you repeat the date for the preliminary hearing? The screen froze.
Oh, yes, ma'am. It is the 19th of July at 8:30.
Thank you.
Or if you bond out of jail, that date goes away, okay? You'll be on standby for a new court date in the mail.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What's your name? One moment.
I'm not exactly sure what city. I just know it's Clayton County, Georgia. It's not Atlanta. I know that. How many tattoos do I have? That's for me to know and for you to find out. No, I have
All right, Ms. Shigley. You're charged with 1 count
5.
of interference with custody. Your bond is $2,000. Preliminary hearing scheduled for the 19th of July. That's at 8:30. And I will appoint an attorney to represent you, ma'am. You have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're gorgeous as Antifa. She asked me too many questions and won't show me who she
Yes,
is.
sir. Good morning. What's your name?
Brian Bill.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Mr. Bell, you're charged with 1 count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Well, 2 counts of that. Your bond is $8,000 on each. It's possession and possession with intent to distribute. Then possession of a drug-related objects, $500. Open container, $500. DUI, $5,000.
Well, that sucks, Edie.
DUI less safe, $5,000. Following too close.
I broke my Roadcaster Pro.
Preliminary hearing.
I sent it off. They'll be fixed this week.
The 18th of July at 8:30, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any questions, sir?
It's time, sir.
All right, thank you.
I don't know. I don't trust you. I don't. I got too many people trying to dig into my life.
Yes, sir. What's your name? Good morning.
Morning, Gregory Bentic.
What kind? This dude.
All right, Mr. Bentic.
What did they make his freaking outfit out of?
1 count of driving while license suspended, 1 count of failure to signal. It's $1,500 and $500. $2,000 is your total.
What's up,
Preliminary hearing is the 19th of July at 8:30. And Mr. Bentic, one moment here. See your application. All right, sir. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
Sir.
All right, thank you.
Maybe, maybe not.
Brown.
Yes, sir. Good morning. What's your name?
Dietrich Brown.
We got a deep
All right,
ass
Mr.
voice.
Brown, sir, you're charged with 1 count of battery. It's a misdemeanor. Your bond is $5,000. There's no contact as a special condition. No contact with April Green. Preliminary hearing is July 19th, 8:30. And I am appointing an attorney to represent you, Mr. Brown. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
How many tattoos does everybody have in here? How about that? Who's got the most tattoos? I got 5.
Yes, sir. Good morning to you. What's your name?
Gerald Justice.
Say your last name for me again. I'm sorry. Say it again.
Fontaine.
Okay. Mr. Fontaine, you're charged with 1 count of fleeing or attempting to elude the police. That's a felony. It's 5,000 is your bond. Red light violation, 500. Insurance, 1,000. Reckless driving, 1,500.
Damn.
It's 8,000 is your total. Preliminary hearing scheduled for the 18th of July, 8:30.
Yeah, they do. I think
And
most of these
also,
people are
I
going
am
to get one.
appointing an attorney to represent
Yeah,
you.
but
Do you have any questions, sir?
who's got one of these tattoos?
All right, thank you.
You got to earn that tattoo.
Yeah, 8,000 is your total.
I had to earn that tattoo.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
That's Griffin.
All right, Mr. Griffin. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of false imprisonment. It's a felony.
Ziggy.
Preliminary hearing is scheduled for the 18th of July, and that is at 8:30. At this time, there's no contact with Krishana Ackland. Also,
Yeah.
I will appoint an attorney to represent you. You have any questions, sir?
Yes, sir. That is my fiance, and we live together.
Too bad. You screwed. You can't live with your fiance. You shouldn't have hit
Can't
her.
have contact with her at this time, all right? You got to put a pause on that until you speak to your lawyer, sir.
That's what you get for hitting
You
your
both
girl.
were arrested. I can't allow you all to have contact. I'm not getting on the news with you about anything, all right? Talk to your lawyer, get it situated, and then you all could go back to being in love again, all right?
How much is the bond?
5,000, sir. First thing I told you after I told you the charge.
Depends on what their sleeve looks like.
You have any other questions?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Next in line.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Henry.
All right, Mr. Hanley, sir, you're charged with 1 count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. 5,000 is your bond on that offense. Obstructing an officer.
What kind of drug?
1,000. Possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, 5,000. It's 11,000 total, sir. Preliminary hearing is the 18th of July at 8:30. And you're hiring your own attorney, sir?
Sir.
All right. You have any questions?
$11,000 bond.
So my bond is 11,000 total, sir?
Yup.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir. That's it.
Yup.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I got to meet that guy at the Rose Bowl a couple weeks ago. Dave Hester.
Yo, keep the noise down.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Is this a tattoo? Yes, this is a tattoo.
All right. Good morning. Good morning to you, Mr. Jones. Sir, you're charged with 1
Yeah,
count
it's a
of
tattoo.
violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. THC vape. 5,000 is your bond.
Dang, so
Possession
you
of
just have
marijuana
weed,
less
it's
than an
only
ounce,
1,500. But if you have a vape pen, it's 5,000.
Drug-related objects, 500. And possession of a weapon during the commission
I wonder how much
of
edibles
a
are.
crime is 5,000. All right. 11,500 is your total, sir. Your preliminary hearing is the 18th of July at 8:30. And I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any questions, sir?
No, I don't.
All right. Thank you.
It looks like
Good morning, sir.
2 guys
Yes,
left.
sir. Good morning to you. What's your name?
That's secure.
Whoa, look at the hair on this person.
All right, Mr. Pierce.
Holy jeez.
So you're charged with 3 counts
It
of...
all depends, you're
well,
gorgeous.
2 counts of conspiracy to commit
I'd
a
say 1
crime.
tattoo, yeah.
1 count of false imprisonment. 1 count of party to the commission of a crime. They're all felonies. There's 5,000 on each, so 20,000 is your total. No contact with Jerry Wilkerson. And let's see here, Mr. Pierce. You have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, I got to see the haircut on this next guy. Oh my gosh. Look at this dude. Hey, it's Prince. Prince is in
Yes,
jail.
sir. What's your name?
Back from the dead.
There's a Singleton.
All right, Mr. Singleton, you charge of 1 count of criminal trespass. It's a misdemeanor. 2,500 is your bond. Entering automobiles, felony. 3,000. You can't return to 4780 Old Dixie Road in Forest Park at this time. Preliminary hearing is the 18th of July at 8:30, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you, sir. You have any questions?
No, that's it.
All right, thank you.
Dude, looks like somebody messed him up pretty bad too.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
What's your name?
Sheldon Percy.
Let's see. I've lied, I've stolen, I've lusted about other women.
All right,
Blasphemy, I don't
Mr.
know what that
Percy,
means. Cursed,
your matter has to be
yes.
continued to tomorrow.
Hated somebody,
okay?
yes.
We'll return tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yo.
I think that's it.
Be quiet and listen. All right, I need Bola, Anthony, and Brooks. Let's go.
Oh, he's got more.
Y'all line up right here. All right, fellas, I need one line. On that line right there.
But also, Connie, in the Bible it says as long as you go to, if you're a Catholic like I am, you go to confession and you confess your sins to the priest, and you're all good.
All right, y'all listen up. Y'all are these are your fugitives for today.
Yes, sir. Deputy Bush. All right, gentlemen, good morning to you. All right, so yes, sir, gentlemen, good morning. All right, so listen, all of the rights that I outlined, they all apply to you. All the constitutional rights, they all apply to you. So Joshua Brooks.
What's up, Donnie?
All right. Bola Adefenwa. All right, and John Detrell Anthony.
Not John.
All right, gentlemen. So you all are charged here on warrants, or there are warrants here, and the warrants state that you all are fugitives. So first, Mr. Adefenwa, your warrant reads that you did enter and remain in the state of Georgia, knowing that you were wanted by Collin County Sheriff for theft of property. It's a felony, and they will extradite. Mr. Brooks, sir, your warrant reads you did enter and remain in the state of Georgia, knowing you had an active warrant out of Knoxville, Tennessee, for what the charges for, sir, and they will extradite. And then third, Mr. Anthony, your warrant reads that you're wanted by Westmoreland Sheriff for fraud, and they will extradite. It's a felony.
Fraud.
So, gentlemen, right now what's happening is that the OCGA, which is the official code of Georgia, annotated Title 17, Chapter 13, it states that you all have options. You have two options today. Your first option is to fight or contest the formal extradition process here in Georgia. So while you fight that, you will remain in custody in the Clayton County Jail. I'm not granting a bond because you're a fugitive, so I can't give you a bond today, right? So what will happen is you'll remain in custody. You can remain here in Clayton County Jail for up to 90 days. Of course, it can be shorter, or it may be longer if there's an extension. However, what you can contest are only four things. The first is whether the charge that I outlined to you is an actual crime still. So for example, like some states, for marijuana might not be a crime, or it might be decriminalized. So you can say, okay, this charge is not a valid charge anymore in the location that is seeking to extradite me back. Secondly, you can challenge whether the extradition documents are invalid. So the warrant I just read and any other documents, you can challenge and say that's invalid. It's no good. Third, you can contest whether you are in fact the named person. Are you Mr. Edufenwa? Are you Mr. Brooks? Or are you Mr. Anthony? You can say, I'm not that person. You can challenge that. And lastly, you can challenge whether you are in fact a fugitive. So those are the only 4 things that you can challenge, nothing else. You can't say whether you're guilty or not guilty. That's not for here in Clayton County for the judges here to decide. That's for the respective location that has this extradition pending to have you return. The second option, you can waive the formal extradition proceeding. That means you're giving up the process of fighting. You're saying, I'm going to go back and I'm going to just face it wherever that is and deal with it there. That process will allow either you to be transported or for you to be taken to that location. And that generally can happen. It's about 10 days. It can be less, or they can be an extension. It could be longer. So those are your options, gentlemen. At this time, I must ask you whether you wish to waive the formal extradition proceedings here in Georgia, or you wish to contest or fight the formal extradition procedures here in Georgia. Mr. Edufenwa?
I'm waiving, sir.
All right, so waiver. All right, and I see that I believe Deputy Bush gave you the forms. If you can go ahead and sign all of those, sir. And do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? No questions. All right.
No
Mr.
questions.
Brooks.
I'm gonna waive it.
Yes, sir. All right, so go ahead, fill out the form, sir. And do you have any questions? They're all the same. It's all the same form duplicated. So once you look at one, all of them will be the same. You have any questions, Mr. Brooks? All right, and Mr. Anthony, what's your decision, sir?
Waive.
Yes, sir. All right, so do you have any questions?
No, sir.
You said when we waive, how long does it take? The process can take
It's
up
10 days, but they can ask for an extension. All right, so it's usually about 10 days, but they can ask for an extension. But generally, it's that time period. All right. You have any other questions, sir?
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Like, what's the extension like? Time frame on the extension?
I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna ask for. They might say, okay, you know, it's a hurricane or a storm. It's tropical storms happening right now. That we need 5 days or 2 days or 1 day. I don't know. So I don't want you to quote me. All right. I don't like giving definite answers because I don't want nobody saying what the judge said because I have no idea. All right. But that's the time period generally. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Brooks.
Will we be informed if they ask for an extension?
Can you say that again?
Will we be informed if they ask for an extension?
Yes, sir. All right. Any questions, gentlemen?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all. All right. Good luck, gentlemen. Yeah, have a good 4th. Deputy Ashu, Deputy Bush. I'm not sure who else is over there with y'all. Deputy Ashu, Deputy Bush.
Ashu's not here, Your Honor.
All right. Deputy Bush, what's going on with you?
You doing all right today?
I'm good. Have a good 4th. And y'all, I'll see y'all soon.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
All right, guys. So that's the end of all these court cases for today. I gotta run to Fresno.
Says that more than 5 million barrels
I gotta
of oil
drop
that were
off a
released
package.
from the emergency oil reserves.
Ooh, what's this one from?
Were exported to Europe and Asia last month, and some of it reportedly was actually heading
When is this
to
from?
China.
July
Is the
6th.
administration aware of those reports, and
I'll let you watch this real quick.
Does the president mind that some of this oil that was meant to ease pain for consumers is headed overseas?
I have not seen that report, so I would honestly have to go look into it and see what the truth is in that statement that you just laid out, and see exactly what's happening. I just have not seen that report.
that was meant for
How
us.
can someone that dumb be that arrogant? Or is there actually a connection between dumbness and arrogance? Probably so. But if someone asks you in the White House briefing, oh, by the way, is the U.S. government selling our strategic petroleum
You have a
reserve
good afternoon,
to
too.
our main enemy in the middle of a gas shortage? You probably should have an answer, or at least seem embarrassed that you don't.
Right? All right, guys. Well, thank you for being here. All right, Matt. Hit pause here.
Hello and welcome.
Thank y'all for being here. Like I said, I got to get the heck out of here. I got to go run errands. We'll be back tomorrow morning with some more of these court cases. You know, I kind of like this. This guy goes fast, so this guy was pretty good. So thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you next time. All right, guys. I'll be back actually in 6 hours doing tonight's news. So be back here 6 o'clock Pacific time. You can watch the news with us. All right, have a good day, guys. See you later, Mandy. See you later, Duz. See you later, Sharon. Who else is in here still? Who else is still in here? Real Life, Clark Kent, Connie, Johnny, all you guys. So thank you guys.